Hello YouTube, Dave here again. I thought I would do another monthly pickups video. So these are the items that I picked up in the month of May. May is also like the month that was my birthday month, so I turned 36 just a couple weeks ago. So some of the things that I got were just kind of me splurging, I guess, because of the fact that it was my birthday coming up. But just some really cool things that I added, things that I didn't think I'd ever really potentially get, or some things that I was really excited to get. So let's just go ahead and get right to it. The first thing I want to do is just show off, I already did a video opening up the set, but when it comes to my collection, I want to start having sort of a subset of sealed starter set products. I already have a sealed copy of the 5th edition starter set as well as the Starfinder beginner box. So I ended up picking up a second copy of the Dungeons & Dragons starter set for the Stranger Things tie-in. So I picked this up, like I said, just be in my sealed collection for starter sets, and there's some other things coming up in the very near future that I also want to have a sealed copy of for that collection. Something I'll talk about in a later video. But again, just, pick this up to have. I already have the other two things already, so I thought I would just sort of keep that going. So I got a sealed copy of that. I also picked up my first ever. I never actually had a mini of this before. I don't think I've really got a ton of minis to begin with, but I decided to pick up a Rust Monster mini. Like good old Rust Monster. Just because, like I said, I'd never had one, and I did end up using one in a game recently that I essentially just used like a large NKEG mini for, and just it was basically a more powerful version of a standard Rust Monster. But it's really cool to have the actual mini for that now, so I picked that up a little while ago. Excuse me. Just got back from, we spent the weekend at my fiance's parents. They have a cat and the allergies take a little while to go away. But speaking of my fiance, she got me a couple of things here. So the first one, she and our daughter were at a dollar store, and they ended up finding this, which is just an Undertaker figure, little minifigure sort of thing. Which really cool. Like stuff like this we rarely ever see at the dollar store, so really cool to have that there. So she picked that up for me, and that is something that I will be holding on to. I'll put it up with all of my other figures. And because it was my birthday, her birthday present to me was a copy of Mortal Kombat 11 for the Switch. And this is a ton of fun. I went through the story mode already, and the story was actually pretty cool. I liked the story mode, and there's other things like the Tower of Time or something like that, which have a bunch of rotating challenges and things like that. Really cool game. Over the top, of course, which what Mortal Kombat game isn't, and just really awesome. She also destroys me in this game, and I've been playing Mortal Kombat since like 1993 when it came out on the Super Nintendo, and then Mortal Kombat 2 in the actual arcade. So I've been playing Mortal Kombat for a long time, but she just seems to have my number for whatever reason. She gets really button mashing, and I think that's part of it. But with her button mashing, she was pulling off like 9-hit combos, and just like, it was insane, the things that she was doing. But it's still a lot of fun. She enjoys it. She found the classic Brutality, where you uppercut your opponent's head off completely by accident, and just the look on her face was fantastic on that. So even though she destroys me in it, it's still a lot of fun and something that we can enjoy playing together. At least until I beat her once, and then she never wants to play it again. Alright, so up next, this is something that I missed out on back before the holiday season, and it always kind of bummed me out because I really wanted to get this. And the thing was that I missed out in the wintertime was actually a gray version, so it wasn't necessarily 100% representative. But what I did end up finding just a few days ago, actually at the time that I'm recording this, was was this Dungeons & Dragons fantasy role-playing game shirt with the old Elmore art on it. And this is from the Menser version of the basic rules. So this is what the Beckme basic rule set. This is what the basic rules box looked like. This was the cover art from that, and it's also got the actual red shirt to go along with it, which is really awesome. Because again, the Walmart. So Walmart had one around Christmas time. They had a shirt, had the same art on it, but it was gray. And gray doesn't actually fit the color of the box set. So it was cool, and it kind of sucked that I ended up not being able to get it or find it again. But to actually find it in red was way, way better and way more fitting. So this is basically my new favorite shirt of all time. So yeah, really, really awesome to have to have that. All right, up next, we have 3 books that my fiance's mother, my mother-in-law, she goes on, and if you live in Canada, you're probably familiar with the website Kijiji, and it's basically like a buy and sell classified website. It's for like local pickups, and it's you can find basically anything on there. They found furniture, clothes for our daughter. They found all kinds of great stuff on there. She's really awesome at finding things on there. Just I don't know how she does it, because I've always been terrible at it. But she found this one posting that she sent to me, and it was 3 D&D books for $45 for the lot. So I jumped on it. She went and picked it up for me, and they took some of the price off of it for me, and had that as like basically a birthday present towards me. So what these are 3 core rule books for 2nd edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. Now they're the revised version that came out. They're not the original printings from 1989. But when you see these, you might understand why I wanted to get these. So these are, we'll start with the Player's Handbook here. And this is in pretty awesome shape. I mean, those little marks there are basically the only thing with this book, and compared to my Player's Handbook, this is in amazing shape. Like all the page corners are, none of them are folded over. They're nice and sharp. Just really, really awesome, the condition that these are in. And this is actually from 1995. And this is when the TSR was the one that put out the revised version of 2nd edition AD&D. So Wizards of the Coast bought TSR out in 1997, and I've heard people say that Wizards of the Coast were the ones that released this revised version of AD&D 2nd edition, but this is all still TSR. This is before Wizards of the Coast bought them out, and yeah, so that's really, really awesome there. So we got the Player's Handbook. We also have the black covered version of the Dungeon Master's Guide, which I never owned. I never owned this specific version. I have the reprint, the 2013 reprint that has like the green cover and has like a little diamond shape that has, this part of the art in it. But I never owned the actual original book. And again, this is TSR. Whoops, covering it there, 1995. So I was really, really happy to have that as well. Because I kind of wanted to get the variants of the core rule books for that set. I want to go back and get the variant covers, the revised covers for the 1st edition AD&D books. I have the Player's Handbook already, so I just need to get the Dungeon Master's Guide and Monster Manual. But to have the Dungeon Master's Guide is really awesome. And then the 3rd book is a white covered version of the Monsters Manual. So before I actually saw this listing, there were 3 different versions of the Monsters Manual that I was aware of. The first was the binder, which is like the Monsters Compendiums, which I have the first binder of already. Then there was the black covered version that fit these books. And then there was the white covered that had the blue 2nd edition AD&D logo. And if I can find basically like that there. That is the Monsters Manual, white cover with the blue AD&D 2nd edition logo. But this is the white covered Monsters Manual with the red logo. And I never knew that the red logoed version of the white covered Monsters Manual existed. Now the spine looks like the other books, right? Like, so the spines look similar. But this has the red Advanced Dungeons & Dragons logo on it, and not like the blue AD&D with the word 2nd edition in red on it. So that was really, really awesome in my opinion. And even the back cover is white as well. So the spine is the only thing that's actually black on this. And this is from 1993, so technically it's before they released like these hardcovers. So it's just really, really awesome that, like I said, and it's not that I'm saying that this is like a super rare or high valued item or anything like that. It's just something that I wasn't aware of. And once I was aware of it, it's like, okay, I really want to get that. And these books are all in really, really great shape. Like, it looks like they were hardly used at all. And for $45, it breaks down to $15 per book Canadian, which is more than a fair price. I mean, I feel like the seller probably could have sold these for like $20 a book, or even like $25 per book, and probably would have ended up selling them. It may not have been right away, but he may have ended up selling them. So, but this is just really, really awesome to have. And again, I didn't know that this version of the book existed. So, really, really cool to have that in the collection. I still want to get the white covered book with the blue logo though, in addition to the original Player's Handbook. So those are still the two 2nd edition AD&D things that are on my radar. So, really glad to pick those up. We basically just got back from their place at the time that I'm recording this. I'm going to be uploading it a few days later. So I just actually got these books on the weekend, and it's a Monday when I'm recording. And just before I started to sit down and record this video, I had a package arrive in the mail. So let's just go ahead and sort of just move these off to the side, pull the camera back a little bit. So I ended up getting this in the mail. So what I'm going to do is just cut this open. So this is a DMsGuild print-on-demand item that I had ordered. And even though, because like during the month of May, they had this sale on for physical print items. So there's one thing that I really wanted to pick up, because it was user-created content that the person originally had sent me the PDFs for, and I wanted to do a review for them because it seemed really, really cool. But unfortunately trying to read PDFs was just really, really hard on my eyes. Like, I don't take well to it, and basically started getting like migraines and had to sort of drop it, which is unfortunate. But they did come out with a print-on-demand version of it, so as soon as I saw that, like I said, I immediately picked it up. So let's just set the box aside here. There was also some big bubble wrap that the missus will love. So what this is, it's a combination of modules, and this is the Heir of Orcus, volumes 1 and 2. So this is a tome of 2 adventures with 8 hours of content for character levels 1 through 4. The author's name is Anthony Joyce. And what's really awesome about this is that it's all like, the artwork is sort of like 16-bit. And the original cover, I don't know if they have the covers in here or not. Oh yeah, they do. Okay. So this was the module cover that he did up for the first one. And that is totally The Legend of Zelda. That's a spoof of the original Legend of Zelda, like the logo. It's obviously warped and twisted to look like Orcus themed, but that was like the original Legend of Zelda. And there's like some comic stuff in here as well. Just really, really well put together and awesome. But if I can find it here, like all the maps are like pixel art, which is really, really cool. And it just seems like it's going to be a really fun, really, really cool, interesting adventure to run, which I think is awesome. And like I said, just even there's like pixel art of some of the characters you can come across. Just really, really awesome stuff. Pixel art for the creatures as well. So you got like the cultist, riding horse, the guard, imp, knight, priest, revenant. the Succubus and Incubus, Sword Wraith, Warhorse, and the young Black Dragon. Black Dragons being my favorite ones. And we just got some other maps here, so just awesome stuff. And then the second one was totally inspired by Doom. See, like you got the font and everything from like the new Doom game that came out just a couple years ago, I think now. So again, just really, really cool stuff. And now that I have a print version, it's going to be a lot easier on my eyes, so I can't wait to sit down and read this. Although, is the module here? Okay, yeah, it's there. I must have just skipped past some pages when I was flipping, so. And then we got our maps, effects charts, story rewards, NPCs. So just some really, ooh. And there's a third one coming out as well. So just really, really awesome stuff. And I can't wait to sit down and get a chance to read this without getting like headaches from eye strain. But again, I just want to thank Anthony Joyce. He did send me the PDFs before to do a review of, and unfortunately, I just couldn't do it. Just based off trying to read PDFs and just read off computer screens, which just doesn't agree with me at all. But I'm glad that I can make it up to him by supporting him by purchasing this print-on-demand version. And if you want to check out DMsGuild, there's a link in the description below. And I recommend checking out this in particular. Give it a look, and I think it's going to be a really, really awesome adventure. So those were my birthday pickups, I guess you could say, or pickups for the month of May. So let me know in the comments below what cool things were you able to find, if anything. And again, it's not a competition or anything like that. But if there's anything interesting that you found to add to your collections over the last few weeks, let me know, because I'd really love to hear it. I always enjoy hearing the sort of awesome things that people are able to find. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Take care.